Hi guys, welcome to Studying Smarter. I'm Emily and I'm gonna be live reacting to my grades for this semester. I just checked briefly and saw that all of my grades were in, so I'm gonna film myself reacting to them live, and I'm doing it in front of my Christmas tree because I figured I should at least have a cute background for this in case I start crying. I don't think I'm going to. I hope not. I felt like this semester went well. It was tough, but it went well. I should preface this by saying that my school has a very non-traditional program. So instead of getting letter grades, A, B, C, D, F, we are pass-fail. So it's either satisfactory or unsatisfactory, but along with that, you get a full narrative report from your professor about every assignment you did in the class, and then overall how you did, participation, everything, so it's more holistic than just getting like an A, and that's all you get. If you're passing, if the professor deems your work as passing, which is very subjective and which is why the system can be really difficult because some professors have very high standards, you can do marginal SAT, which is like you're barely SATing, like you're barely getting the satisfactory, a solid SAT, which is just it's just satisfactory work, or a strong satisfactory, which means it's basically like an A, I guess, like you're doing really well and you got it. So I'm gonna be going through all of that very personal stuff on here today. So I'm gonna check and see how it goes. Okay, so I just pulled up my online grade portal thing. Whew, okay. So I passed everything. I passed everything. So this semester I took Introduction to Medieval Manuscripts, a calligraphy and book arts tutorial that went along with it that was medieval calligraphy and book art. I had my thesis tutorial, and then I was a TA for Medieval Europe, which is an intro survey class. And so I'm gonna start with the first one, which was Introduction to Medieval Manuscripts, which was a super interesting class. Also a very difficult class. I took it because it was an intro class, but the professor is very hard. Amazing professor, fantastic, but not easy. So let's see what she says. So I got a satisfactory, which is good. Okay. So she started off with kind of just recapping very generally how my semester was. So she started with my attendance record. I missed no classes, which was great. I did one of 2 required visits to the Writing Resource Center. I forgot to do one of them, but I think it's okay because I passed, so. And now the T, the final exam. So the final exam for this class, I've never had a final exam like it. So it was a timed essay, but we weren't in class. We had to do it on Canvas, on our online portal, and submit it. And it was the most stressful exam I have ever done. I wanted to cry the entire time. It was 2 questions, and I wanted to just start crying. It was open book, but that didn't help at all if you hadn't done the research or knew where things were. If you saw my last study with me, that was me prepping for this exam, and whoo, it was a doozy. So it was 2 questions. The first one, I misinterpreted the question. Okay, that's fine. Strong details and context. Weak argumentation, 3 out of 5. So I got a 3 out of 5 on the first essay. Yikes, that's not good. That's not. See, I thought I had done better on the first question than the second question. Because the first question, it was just everyone had to answer the first question. Whereas the second one, you got to choose from a list of 5 questions to answer that had, the entire class encompassed, and it was great. And I was, for the second one, I wasn't sure which one I wanted to pick until I was, into the essay. But what did I get on the second one? I got a 5 out of 5 on the second one. Okay, so that evened out to a solid satisfactory. Whew. And then she goes and she does an overall summary. So I got a strong satisfactory. Yes. Okay, that's good. That's good. And then I had a tutorial that went along with that class. It was only a mod credit, so it was, instead of 1 credit, it was 0.5. And we were just applying like medieval bookmaking and calligraphy skills to the actual, like to try to actually do them, which was cool. So like doing medieval calligraphy and binding a book in the medieval style. And I got a satisfactory on that as well. I don't think there's gonna be too much in this. Yeah, so again, going over my attendance, which I was at all of the meetings, and then my final project, I recreated one of the manuscript folios that we have in my library's collection. Only criticism, okay. Okay, I got a strong sat there too. This is a good start, guys. Maybe this semester was not as bad as I thought it was. Okay, and then the next one is my thesis tutorial. So if you didn't see my thesis crisis video, I'm writing my thesis. To graduate from my school, you have to write an undergraduate thesis. Mine is going to be 3 chapters, plus an introduction and conclusion that I will have to defend at a baccalaureate exam in April. And I finished my first chapter last semester and started my second. I'm supposed to have my second done by the end of January, and then my third done by spring break, I think, of next semester. So this is a cumulative assessment by my professor on my progress on my thesis, how it's going, which it was doing much better in the beginning of the semester than the end of the semester because I've been putting it off. So let's see what he has to say about it. So I've passed, I finished a chapter, so we should be fine. He didn't say strong sat or anything, but an excellent tutorial. He mentioned a little bit about my first chapter, what it's about, and how he thought it went. So he said this chapter is already highly polished, expertly written, and will make a strong addition to your graduate school dossier. Sweet. It's good because I'm also presenting this chapter as a paper at a conference in February. So I'm glad he likes it because that would be a nightmare if he didn't, and I got on stage to present this paper and nobody liked it. So that's good. That was not stressful. And then the least stressful one, the one that I was least worried about on my grades, is I was the TA for the Medieval Europe survey class at my school. That's actually taught by my thesis sponsor, and he asked me to be his TA, and so this is just his assessment of my role as TA. So I didn't have to do any of the written assignments, like I didn't write any essays. I graded their short written assignments, and then I did review sessions before each quiz that they had. So let me see what he says, because I got a satisfactory on it, so glad he liked me as a TA. Okay. Oh, that's nice. Great. Again, no strong sat or anything, but I'm not surprised because it's just a TA position. But overall, I passed. I have 1 semester left. I gotta do this one more time, and then I get to do it again, hopefully in grad school. Whew, I feel so much better after doing that. I was worried mostly about my manuscripts class because that exam was so brutal and I just wanted to die throughout the entire thing. But that was my live reaction to my grades for this semester, my second to last semester before I graduate. Make sure you like and comment and subscribe below, and I hope you guys have a happy holidays.